as a further incentive for any of you would-be volunteers to come down today and help with the sunflowers or the litter cleaning, I'd like to add we've got all these, well I haven't, Julie has, and these have been donated by, we've got Kids Planet Day nurseries have donated activity packs, worth coming down for on its own. Morrison's in Eccles, Julie, Sue, etc. have donated all these goods to community champions. And look at these homemade sunflower biscuits made by your mum.
Yeah, and they're vegan.
Oh, vegan.
She has all the
so
star
leaves you out.
That's me out.
So what more incentive do you need to come down? Food, drinks, sunflower biscuits. Come down and do your bit for Salford. That's all we're asking. And I'd like to introduce Pete Sim, who's the Grand Master Architect of the Sunflower Session. Pete,
thank you.
Tell us what you know.
So, I was asked if I would volunteer providing the horticultural support. I have 24 years experience as a horticulturalist and garden designer, and it was my great pleasure to support the people of Salford.
Yeah.
This should be a space which is inclusive of everyone.
Yeah.
And having started as a garden for the blind, it now can be a space where people who are deaf, people who have other sensory issues, mobility issues, disabilities, and who are disenfranchised in any way can come to what is a very safe space, can engage with nature and also with other people who share those features with them.
That ticks all the boxes for me. When will the garden be fully open? Have you any idea?
I am hoping that we will get it planted in the first phase by the end of this year.
Yeah.
Everything is, of course, funding. Funding sensitive, but then the second phase, which is the outside areas. So we will focus on the beds in the middle and the lawns, and then in the second phase we'll focus on the surrounding areas.
I think it's a marvellous initiative that's taking part. I grew up in Salford, obviously. Yep. I grew up with the park. I love to see it coming back to life. It has gone through a sticky period.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But Salford should be very proud because it has the first garden for the blind, which is what this originally was in this country. I was lucky enough to work at Brooklyn Botanics for 4 years. And they have the oldest sensory garden in the world for the blind. Right. So I've spent a lot of time around educating and interpreting plants for people in this setting, and it's an absolutely wonderful experience to be able to, as I say, volunteer in a city I love. Yeah. It's not my native city, but it's the city I've come to love.
Adopted Salfordian.
Absolutely, absolutely, and a Seedlian.
The Seedlian even, yes. As well. And this is your report?
So this is the report, this is the initial report, and we've also produced a guide for parents and teachers.
This is what we want, isn't it?
Which is how to take your child or take pupils round and see plants as something which engage all of the senses. And at the same time the impact that they have on our lives in terms of the wildlife and just the sheer beauty and design.
I keep saying it's marvellous. I'm really pleased to see this happening, and Peter, good luck. You don't need it, but you've got all Salford behind you.
It's everyone, as I say. You know, I'm here in the background, but I'm just a volunteer like everybody else, and that's how it should be.
Excellent. Final one, Carl. I'd just like to say to anyone in Salford watching, come down today, not just for the free food and drink. Have a look at what Peter's created and what is going to be. Help out, help clean the park up, do something for your city of Salford. So you've got till 3 o'clock, so come down. Peter, marvellous.
Thank you very much.
Okay,